We're from the band Silverstein. You're watching the Rockstar Stories on Swept Away TV.
Hi, I'm Jared Carmen with Rockstar Stories, and here we have band members of Silverstein. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
I would like to. My name is Shane.
And I'm Josh.
Now, you guys named it for Shell Silverstein, right?
Yeah, essentially. It's an old story from when we first started the band, and I didn't have any lyrics written, so we would kind of sing whatever books were laying around his basement, and one day I picked up a Shel Silverstein book and was singing out of that, and the name kind of stuck.
What were you singing?
I cannot recall exactly. There were some poems in a book like Hug a War and stuff.
It's a much better band name than National Geographic, which I think was one of the other things you were singing out of at one point. So.
Or Cookbook.
I was thinking about naming my band Time Magazine, but that didn't really go down well.
No.
It's a shame, you know? So, how'd you guys really get started out?
I mean, we knew each other from playing in some other bands, like local shows around our hometown, and just kind of wanted to branch out and do some different music. And Josh and our old guitar player Richard, I guess you guys went to high school together and started playing music, and I joined and found some other people kind of just around the scene.
Like, who'd you guys like? I don't really think you guys modeled yourself after any one band, because you guys have like a really unique sound, I think. But like, if you had like one band that really inspired you musically, who do you think it would be?
I mean,
I think we're all different. You know, I think that's maybe part of why, we didn't all come together and just sound like one other band. Like, it wasn't all five of us didn't just like one band and want to emulate them. Like, I think one of the bands for me was like the Get Up Kids in the beginning, and some of the other guys maybe would say Grade, and I know Josh was big into some band, a big band called like 400 Years, and Portrait, and a bunch of old bands from that era, and
a lot of bands actually that don't really sound much alike either. It's just kind of a progression from the skate punk type punk rock that a lot of us grew up with, like that Fat Records, Epitaph type sound. We liked that, but this music seemed like a more mature version of it in some ways. Just more interesting chords and melodies and stuff like that.
So what's the reaction to your new album? Came out really, was it 4 days ago?
Yeah.
Rescue.
Yeah, it came out on Tuesday. It's actually been great. I mean, we've had it recorded for a while, and there's been some reviews with the press people and stuff, and it's all been very favorable. But now that it's actually out and our fans are able to buy it and listen to it and read the lyrics and everything, and we're really getting the feedback from the fans, and it's been overwhelmingly supportive. So
I've actually only heard one negative comment, and it was on our Facebook. The guy was like, I was totally disappointed with Rescue. And so I hit him up because I couldn't let that fly. I was like, hey man, heard you didn't like the new record. Like, just what gives? Like, what's not doing it for you? Because everybody else is saying they love it. And he's actually from here, and he's going to be at the show tonight, and he messaged me back saying, like, oh, man, I can't believe you messaged me. This is so crazy. You're, like, my favorite band. Honestly, I don't even know what I was saying when I said that. I had barely even listened to it. Now I've listened to it a couple more times, and I'm just so excited. So I guess everybody likes it.
I guess so.
He tried not to like it, but he wasn't able to.
It's impossible to not like your stuff. Would you call it your best work, or?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think every record we do, we try to beat our previous work, and I think it's important for us to feel that we are actually, doing that, progressing and improving with every record. And I think this record we spent the most time we've spent. I think we wrote some of the best riffs and the best songs and the best lyrics we've ever written too. So I think as a whole, I think it's a really solid record.
You guys have been around since 2000, and you guys, 2011, 11 years, that's a long time. What do you guys think is like the secret to your longevity?
We found the Fountain of Youth a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And
keeping the back of our bus.
I don't know, what keeps it fresh for us?
I don't know. It's I think part of it is that we're friends, and we're close friends, but we're not all best friends where we hang out every second together when we're not on tour, and I think a lot of bands out there, they grow up together, go to high school together, and they're all in this, very tightly knitted group of friends. So then they're on tour with each other for like 5 weeks, and then they go home, and that night they're all like hanging out together at like the same bar for another like 5 weeks. They're home, and they go back on tour. And I think for us to like have that separation, you know, I know when I'm home from tour, I like miss the guys, you know, and I'm like excited to get back on tour and see everybody and like hang out. And then at the end of the tour, I go and I have my kind of my own life. So I think that separation is something it's good for us.
And you guys live in Canada?
Yeah.
Like it up there?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Are the fans a lot different in Canada than here, or?
I don't think so, really.
A little less sunburned.
Yeah.
Sometimes more sunburned.
Sometimes more sunburned.
You guys at least, well,
You're used to it.
you'd think people would wear their sunscreen more here.
No.
But every time, like I have a friend from Florida, and every time I see her, she has a sunburn. I'm like, come on,
Don't you know
the
by
Sunshine
now?
State.
Just head up to New Jersey and you'll see some type of
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think that's just because they're really Italian, though.
So now you guys left your record and went to Universal. Is it a lot better there? You guys more independent, more free, you get to do what you want?
Yeah, well, we left Victory Records. We signed, actually, we kind of are by ourselves, and we actually license our record. We own our own masters, and we license our record to different places in the world. And in the U.S., we're on Hopeless Records. In Canada, we're on Universal, and in Australia, we're on Roadrunner Records. So it's cool. We have a lot of people working for us all over the world, but at the end of the day, it's kind of our own thing. So we do call the shots. We get to do whatever we want, and it's just, it's good for us.
You guys having like wild stories?
Of course not.
We might have had wild stories a couple years ago, but you know, like, we gotta take it easy. We got shows to play.
Yeah.
No,
Except for last night,
Except
and the
for
night
last
before,
night,
and the night before.
Yeah.
No, oh my god, we lost Shane. None of that.
Todd, you mean?
I'm sorry.
No,
No, his name's Shane.
my name is Shane. Yeah,
It just turns into Todd.
my drunken
sometimes.
alter ego is known as Todd. So sometimes Todd will come out and play, and
I think Todd actually rode a bicycle down the hallway of our bus last night.
yeah,
Todd write good songs.
Todd. No,
Shane writes
Shane's
better
okay.
songs.
Todd, I don't think so. I wouldn't trust Todd to really write anything that's of any value.
Yeah. Todd needs help.
Now you guys seem like really down to earth. Do you guys like aim for that, or are you guys just like that cool?
No, like we were just on the bus being like really like big rock
Douchey.
stars and douchebags and stuff, but then we put on our like cool face, like our chill face.
Or like down to earth, yeah.
No, like
Yeah, like I put on like a plain white T-shirt just now because before I was wearing like an Affliction shirt and like with like little like diamonds and stuff on it.
we
And,
kind of come from a scene where
Some big sunglasses, but no, I
it's silly to I don't know, think of yourself as being overly important and definitely no more important than anyone else. And I definitely feel that way about what we do, because if kids weren't coming to these shows, then there would be no show at all for us to play, really.
And from the line out there, they're definitely
They are coming. It's good.
yeah, it's great.
So like it's a mutual thing. Like without them, we don't have anything to do. And so yeah, I think there has to be a certain amount of respect, and that accompanies down to earth attitude.
Now you guys are going to Europe, right?
Yeah, we were just there, but we're going back for some festivals in June.
You have a favorite place in Europe?
Germany treats us really well.
Yeah,
Really nice there.
yeah. The Germans
enjoyable.
they're great people,
Some
and
pretty good food there.
they're big. Yeah, they're big rock music fans in Germany. Like everybody loves rock music, so it's a cool environment for us. And but there's some other great places too. I mean, every time we get a chance to go to like Italy, it's really cool, and Spain, an amazing place.
To Scandinavia.
Yeah,
Sweden.
Sweden up there, it's great, and we just want to keep exploring more and more of the world. You know, just to experience whatever we can.
Pretty much have a good time wherever we go, to be honest. It's just nice to travel and bring our music to different places.
Or like speaking like figurative places. Are there any places you guys want to go musically in the future? Really?
I think there's some things we want to try. Yeah, I think you know, the more and more we do creatively, and the more and more we sort of start pushing the envelope, I think the more and more we kind of want to do. And yeah, I think we got a few things up our sleeves for some things in the future. I know I have a couple crazy ideas of some things I want to try that we just never really had the chance to before.
So how are you guys getting along with the other bands on tour? I know you guys got one of the singers from one of the players on Bayside, and one of your Texas Nicky, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been great. I mean,
We've toured with Bayside many times before, played lots of shows, and started really good friends with them. And some of the other bands we've met before, and the ones that we haven't met before, are great guys. So everything's been
Texas
great.
in July. What?
Texas in July.
No, it's good to be on tour with great bands and great people, and it's just it's like a real chill vibe on the tour, which is always nice.
So this is like about sexual education. So what do you guys take on this?
Getting sexy.
I think it's
You
important.
can't hold down the sexy.
Yeah, it can be an
bringing
awkward
sexy
thing to
back.
talk about, but I think that's kind of the point of this whole thing, is that just getting information out there for people that maybe don't have a comfortable place to get it. That information is what I'm.
Yeah, I think like historically, sex education in schools has been, a bit of a joke, and I think it's improving in some places, but in other places it isn't. And I just think that it's something that kids should know about, and there's a lot of problems running rampant, like teen pregnancy and things like that. So yeah, so I just think it's important for people to have some education about that. So that's what the charity's all about.
Beyond like the sex education that you would find in a school or wherever, this organization, Sex Etc., they deal with a lot of like more youth problems. Like you hear slang around, and there's so much slang for that the world of sex that it can be really difficult to understand what some of the slang is. And you can ask your friends. Yeah, you can ask your friends, and they might have some misinformation. You can ask a teacher; they might not even have heard of that slang. You can ask your parents, same sort of thing, and it's uncomfortable. So this gives you a place to, like, if you hear some word getting tossed around in the schoolyard and you don't know what it means, it gives you a place to look it up and kind of have that broken down for you.
What do you think would happen if you put up your hand and you were like, Miss Edwards, what does spunk mean?
Yeah, probably a bunch of laughter, but not
you were
really
serious?
any real answers.
No,
but
it's
like,
true. It's true.
yeah.
Mrs. Edwards would probably kick you out of the
Right, and that's a legitimate
class.
question. Really.
Speaking of information, like what social networking sites can fans at home find you on?
I think we're on all the good ones.
Facebook, Twitter,
Facebook.com/Silverstein Music.
Still got a MySpace.
Twitter.com/Silverstein. MySpace.com/Silverstein.
Those are the big
Those
three.
are the big three.
The
Yeah.
big three.
The big three, sure.
So
And we have a website too, silversteinmusic.com. So
I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to talk with me.
no problem.
You can find the new album Rescue in stores right now. Check it out.